enjoyment, excitement, diving in, hobby. These are all words that I would describe to describe my story with technology at this moment. But before, I would have laughed and said no way, because I was scared. I was nervous. I had no idea where to start, and I thought that it was time consuming. And while some of these feelings can be true and still come over me, overall, I do feel enjoyment, excitement, diving in, and that it's a hobby to become a better educator and how to incorporate technology within my classroom. And this is exactly what this story is. Everything that I've learned that I'm excited to implement in my classroom and educating so you can do the exact same thing. First, we're going to start with a few ideas. TPACK. When I first heard this, I said, I have no idea what that is and I will never be using that. But now I'm excited to say that I'm really going to use TPACK in my classroom, and it really is something that you can do this as well. TPACK stands for Technological, Pedagogical, and Content Knowledge. And if we look at the screen, we have a beautiful circle with TPACK right in the middle, and it's colored light pink. This is where we aim to be as educators when we use our technology. When we have the context of learning or our academic standards, we can either just be P, which is just pedagogical. We can just be TP, which is technological and pedagogical, but we're missing our content knowledge. Or we can be PC, where we have a lot of educators, where we have our pedagogical knowledge and how we were trained and our context, but we have no technological aspect. In TPACK, we can combine all these ideas and we can become better educators to combine technology with our academic context. We also have the SAMR, or the substitution, augmentation, modification, and redefinition. In this model, we can start with substitution at the bottom. But just because it's at the bottom does not mean it's the last or the least. It just simply means this must be the easiest of the four to implement. We also have augmentation. So substitution and augmentation is what we typically use, and we can enhance our lessons with this. But if we move it into modification and redefinition, we can transform our lessons using technology, and this is exactly what we want to do with technology. And finally, for the third one, we have triple E, or extend, enhance, and engage. With this, we have all three: engage, enhance, and extend, and they all are surrounded by the instructional strategies. So here we are not taking our instructional strategies and changing them, but rather taking them to engage students with technology, taking them to enhance them with students and technology, and then taking those same strategies and extending them with technology. And so what does this all mean? We have to remember that meaningful learning is not passive. We have to engage our students, we have to grow our students, and we have to connect our students. And we can do all of this with technology. We have to remember that technology is not passive, because if we're using it passively, again, it is not meaningful learning. We have to use one of the three frameworks that I have just described in order to engage, grow, and connect our students. We also have to remember that tools do not actually equal learning. We can take the tool and make a connection to our learning, but again, tools do not do the learning for us. And so this is what a lot of educators, and myself included, always think about when we think about technology and education. We should not be afraid of the Web 2.0 tools, because they're really not scary. Remember, you can totally do this. It just has to take remembering that tools is not learning. You must take the tool and make a connection to equal learning. First, let's talk about WebQuests. And these are amazing ideas, but we have to combine WebQuests with PBL. And PBL is problem-based learning. And that means it is meaningful and engaging. Remember, I said meaningful learning is not passive. It's engaging, it's growth, and it's connecting ideas. And so we can create all kinds of awesome ideas, such as a WebQuest, for an example, with two different standards. We have the Big Six or the gold standard. The Big Six looks like this. We have 6 different ideas, and this is how we build our WebQuest. This is how you will use technology. It's just a guide on how you can explore and how you can take your academic standard and raise it to the technological standards. First, do a task definition. What do you want your students to do? 2, information seeking strategies. How are the students going to get the information? 3, location and access. Where are they going to find that information? Are you going to set boundaries? Are you going to give this to them? But remember, problem-based learning has inquiry, so you have to remember not to just give out the answers. 4. Use of information. What are the students going to do once they have found the information that you have told them to find? 5. Synthesis. How can they evaluate and see what they have and understand the information that they have just located? And 6. Evaluation. How are they going to see if they have met the goal, and how are you going to see if they've met the goal? This is the Big Six. The gold standard. This is another one that goes with the Big Six. This has 7 different ideas, and these aren't technically in order, but they can kind of go around and make a circle, and they kind of work together. So you can have a challenging problem and then a question. And then you must also have sustained inquiry. How are you going to engage your students? You also must have authenticity. Make the task worthwhile and understandable. You also have to have student voice and choice. This is where students can have location and access of the ideas, and they can find it on their own. Then they can reflect and synthesize, as the Big Six calls it, and understand what they have learned and what they are going to do with that information. Then they are going to critique and revise. This is the evaluation stage. What are they understanding, and what have you understood from their problem? And then finally, a public product. How are they going to take their product and put it into the public eye, and so everyone can see it and share it with everybody? A few issues come to mind with technology and educators, but we can always overcome them if we understand what those issues are and if we understand the technology that surrounds us. First, we have the digital divide. This just goes along with saying that some schools have better resources than other schools. And how do we overcome that? How do we overcome the issue of some schools always falling behind? For me personally, that is just understanding what is being used in the schools around us and how to get those and what budget constraints that we have and how can we overcome them. 2 is UDL, or Universal Design for Learning. A lot of teachers are scared of this because this also means special education and creating accessibility for all students. But really, it doesn't have to mean a big technological aspect. It can be using voice to text or text to speech. And you can use students to, instead of typing who can't type, can instead use their voice to type and show the same ideas. Remember, with UDL, you don't want a certain product. You want a certain academic goal. And then finally, another issue is the digital media literacy. Understanding what is okay to do with technology and what isn't okay. And with technology always evolving, this is where educators need to understand how to use technology and how to appropriately put it in their classroom and set boundaries and understand those from the very beginning. And now we have storytelling. This is expressing with technology. And there are 7 elements to storytelling. We have a point of view, a dramatic question, emotional content, voice, a soundtrack, economy, and pacing. All of these ideas come into one big idea of storytelling. This is taking an idea or question and saying, how can I make it entertaining with technology? Just like I'm doing right now. I am storytelling with technology. And finally, we have a few books that have also helped and can help you as an educator. The first is A New Culture of Learning. 3 ideas that I have pulled from here are 1. Learning versus teaching point of view. We must remember with technology, we must remember that students want to learn, and when we are planning, we want to understand what they are learning rather than how are we going to teach it. 2. Collective learning. This is just collaboration and coming together and creating something with peers and peer-to-peer learning. And 3. Knowing, making, and playing. This is what technology can do. Technology, you can know the aspects, then you can make the aspects, and you can play with them. This is how we become better educators, because we can do all 3 of these things and then help our students become better students, because we are allowing them to know the technology, make with the technology, and play with the technology. Also, in the TPACK handbook, there are 3 ideas that I pulled. So the first is teach in the pre-service training. Process and implementation and the professional development and new tech can be frustrating. So first, we must understand that we need to teach TPACK to our pre-service teachers or our teachers who are going to college or in any other route to become teachers. If we want to have technology in schools and in our educations in our classrooms, we must teach how to do that. We cannot be doing this after students have already graduated and moved into classrooms as teachers. 2, the process and implementation of PD. We must remember that when we're teaching about TPACK, we can't just teach about TPACK. We have to teach how to implement it, what is the process, and support our teachers with constant professional development. And 3, we also can know that new tech can be frustrating. And this is where we get behind on TPACK, because a lot of educators want to back out when the technology gets too frustrating and ever changing. But we must remember, as the new culture of learning reminds us, that this culture is new and it's ever changing. And so while the technology can be frustrating at first, you can totally overcome it if you are patient enough and you take the time to do it. And finally, I just want to say, I went from the sad face on the left to the happy face on the right. And you can totally do this with me. Join me. You can do this. Push yourself outside of your comfort zone and understand that TPACK, Triple E, and the SAMR are totally doable if you understand that pushing ourselves past our breaking points or past our comfort zones is what is exactly is needed to become a better technological educator.